Hey viewers, how's everything going? Today I am with a brand new concept of a budget PC which is excellent for all the current AAA games with insane frames per second. Let's directly jump into the point. Kindly note that I am not including the cost of the monitor in the price mentioned. The components we are going to require for this build are as follows. Number 1. CPU or the processor. The processor I have chosen for this build is AMD Ryzen 3 3100, a 4-core 8-thread processor with 3.6 GHz of base frequency. This processor gives you excellent performance for gaming, and you can no doubt go for this processor if you have a low budget. This will cost you around 8,500 Indian rupees or $99. If you have a slight higher budget, you can go with Ryzen 3 3300X. But Ryzen 3100 is best value for money processor ever. Have a low budget? Then don't bring a second thought before buying this processor. Number 2, GPU or the graphics card. Here comes the struggle. Let me be clear with the point that you have to buy a refurbished GPU, which means a used GPU. All you have to do is search for a computer part dealer near your location and ask them for a best deal with good condition guarantee. Now comes the main point. Which graphics card to use? I will stick to only two graphics card, either AMD RX 570 4GB graphics card, or NVIDIA GTX 1060 6GB version. You can pick any one of them, but make sure you buy a used one. Recently I bought a used RX 570 for 7,000 rupees, which is almost equal to $95. I won't recommend any other GPU because these two GPU will provide excellent performance. Although there is a fewer chances to get GTX 1060 for the price, but a used RX 570 is easily available. I will not recommend you to buy the GPU from any individual person because you may not get the guarantee, therefore I suggest you to go for a dealer, which means a store. Many cities have a second-hand market too, kindly look for one. Number 3, RAM. In this build we are going to use a single channel 8GB RAM base clocked at 3200 MHz. You can use any company, as per your convenience. This RAM will be easily available to you for 3,000 rupees or $32. For initial days, a single 8GB RAM will be sufficient. In the future, you can order the similar RAM and upgrade to dual channel 16GB RAM for improvement. Number 4, motherboard. All I have to say is go with a 320M Pro Max motherboard of any company if you are not going to overclock anything except for RAM to 3200 MHz. I know people say that this motherboard is not good at all, but we have no other option because the other recommended motherboards are too costlier in compared to this one. Trust me, I myself use this motherboard and it meets all my needs, so just go for it. This is easily available for 4,200 rupees or $55. These were the 4 major components for your budget king. Now comes the 4 other components which can vary as per your convenience. Number 5, SSD. People may tend to cancel SSD due to budget issue, but no. SSD will easily fit in your budget and it is very necessary to install a SSD. I will suggest you all to go with 240GB SSD, which costs around 2,500 rupees or $25. If you think 240GB is too much, then you can go with the 120GB version, which is cheaper, yet I suggest the 240GB one. Number 6, HDD. Buying a HDD is up to you. It's up to you on how much storage you require, although the most standard HDD used is WD Blue 1TB version, which costs around 3,500 rupees or $35. Number 7, the power supply. For this a 450 watt power supply should be sufficient, but I will recommend to go with 550 watt to be on a safer side. Although a good power supply with 80+ rating is costly, there's a power supply called Antec Atom V550 which is perfect and cheap. I personally use this power supply and it works flawlessly. It does not have the 80+ rating, yet it is a good power supply. This power supply will cost around 2,500 rupees or $35. At last, at number 8 we have the PC cabinet. Now this also is all up to you. You can easily get a cabinet for 2,000 rupees or under $30. Just make sure it has a proper airflow in it. I have used Chiptronex X410B, which is just fine for me as I myself look into the proper airflow. After we sum up, the build costs around 33,200 rupees if we consider the HDD, and 29,700 rupees if we exclude HDD, so this PC can be built under 30,000 rupees. Adding up HDD is up to you, it can be added later as well. In USD, this build will cost you around $400 including HDD and $370 excluding HDD. For this money, the performance you will get is mind-blowing. I have the same build, and these are the average FPS I get in every game on 1080p. In GTA 5 set to Ultra Graphics, I easily get 70 to 80 FPS. In PUBG PC set to Medium, I get an average of 100 FPS. In Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I get 60 FPS on high settings. In other games like CSGO, Valorant and PUBG Lite, I get 150 to 200 FPS at max graphics. I could benchmark the games, but I chose not to as recording will lower the FPS. Such performance for this budget category is too good. So I hope I cleared all your queries in this video. If you have any other doubt, ask me in the comment section. See you in the next video.